Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Dear students, today I am going to talk to you about a poem, If I Was a Tree, by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy. See, Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy is a well-known Kannada poet. He is director in finance department, director for finance department in BMTC, Bangalore Metropolitan Transport Corporation, by profession. Director by profession. As a literary figure, he has written poems, plays, stories and essays. His works have been translated into many Indian languages in addition to English, Spanish and Hebrew. Hebrew is the language of Jewish people. It is, of course, the official language of Israel. See, the poem, If I Was a Tree, has been translated into English. Actually, originally in Kannada, it is Nanondu Maravagiddare. Nanondu Maravagiddare, it is in Kannada. But it has been translated into English by Ravina Hill, an English poetess. She is now living in Venezuela, a South American country where Spanish is the official language. This poetess has translated many literary works in different Indian languages into English and Spanish languages. Then this poem is about untouchability in India, the hopeless practice of untouchability in India. In this poem, the speaker expresses the insults that are heaped on an untouchable. He desires to be a tree so that he would not be treated like that. In his opinion, the life of a tree is more honorable than the life of an untouchable in Indian society. See, just think about the treatment that is given to the untouchables in villages in India. An untouchable is not allowed to build his house in the middle of the main village where upper class people live. Untouchables live in a separate colony. Untouchables are not allowed to enter the places of worship, temples. Untouchables are not allowed to draw well from the village well, draw water from the village well. Untouchables are not treated as equals in the public functions that are celebrated in villages. That is the hopeless position. Yes, Mulk Raj Anand has written a novel, Untouchable. In that novel, Untouchable, the hero is Bakha. What happens to that Bakha in one day, that happens in the life of an untouchable in all the 365 days or in the whole life of that untouchable. Thus, He is insulted, though he is a human being just like others, though he has all appreciable qualities just like other people. Then there is one particular character in that novel, Untouchable. That particular character says, they think we are just mere dirt, but we clean their dirt. They think that we are just mere dirt, but we clean their dirt. It is one of the remarks of a person in that novel, Untouchable. And many times these untouchables have fought for their rights. Of course, Constitution is there. Constitutional rights are there. In spite of that, these people are not allowed to enjoy the rights many a time. Many a time battles have been fought, bloodshed has taken place. See, it remembers me one particular stanza from Mankuti Manakagga. Considering all such things, he might have written it. It is like this. ಒಂದೇ ಗಗನವ ಕಾಣುತ್ತಾ ಒಂದೇ ನೆಲವನ್ನು ತುಳಿಯುತ್ತಾ ಒಂದೇ ಧಾನ್ಯವನ್ನುಣ್ಣುತ್ತಾ ಒಂದೇ ನೀರು ಕುಡಿದು ಒಂದೇ ಗಾಳಿಯನ್ನು ಉಸುರುವ ನರಜಾತಿಯೊಳಗೆಂತು ಬಂದುದು ಈ ವೈಷಮ್ಯ. He writes, yes, we all people in this society, we look at the same sky, we tread the same earth, we eat the corn grown on this earth, we drink the same water, we breathe the same air. In spite of enjoying all these nature's gifts, why this difference between people and people, classifying them as different caste untouchables? This is totally unacceptable. This is totally wrong. All should live as equals in the society. Such a day should come. Of course, changes are occurring in the cities and towns where it is not practiced to that extent. Where all classes of people, caste people, they take part in public functions as equals. They share food. All such things are there. But in a few decades, I hope this untouchability would certainly go away from this society. Now I read the poem, I explain the poem in detail. Yes. First I read the poem. If I was a tree, the bird wouldn't ask me before it built its nest what caste I am. When sunlight embraced me, my shadow wouldn't feel defiled. My friendship with a cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. Raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog-eater. When I branch out further from my roots, Mother Earth wouldn't flee shouting for a bath. The sacred cow would scrape her body on my bark, scratching wherever it itched. And the 300,000 gods sheltering inside her would touch me. Who knows at the end, hacked into pieces of dry wood, burning in the holy fire, I might be made pure or becoming the buyer for a sinless body, be born on the shoulders of 4 good men. See the first lines. If I was a tree, the bird wouldn't ask me before it built its nest what caste I am. Yes, birds live in nests. Birds build their nests on the branches of the trees. Building nest is a natural instinct of those birds. Inborn quality of those birds. They build their nests in trees. You can see hundreds and hundreds of such nests in very big trees. But before building that nest, a bird would not ask whether the tree is an untouchable or not. It simply builds and lives there. That means the tree is not untouchable to the bird. The bird would not ask the tree what caste the tree belongs to. Thus the poet says. But you people, upper class people, do not allow we people to build our houses in the middle of the village. You just keep us away from your society. You maintain that distance. You maintain the distance. This is totally wrong, the speaker says. So, a tree is not untouchable to the bird. Untouchable to the bird. Bird wouldn't ask whether the tree is untouchable. Second thing, when sunlight embraced me, my shadow wouldn't feel defiled. Sunlight embraced me, just covers me, just shines over me. That sunshine doesn't consider me an untouchable. And what about my shadow? Shadow would not be a defiled one. That means a thing that is polluted. Shadow is not polluted. You people of upper class come and stand under the shadow of the tree. But in the society you do not want an untouchable's shadow fall on you. You maintain distance. But here, sunshine doesn't consider the tree an untouchable, and its shadow is not a polluted one. Anybody may come and stand under it. That is how second criticism here. Yes, sunshine not untouchable. Tree is not untouchable. To sunshine, its shadow is not a polluted one. Yes. Thirdly, my friendship with the cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. Cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. See, when the wind blows in the direction of the tree, it doesn't avoid the tree, doesn't move away from the tree. When it blows through the leaves of the tree, the leaves will flutter in joy. The friendship between the tree with its leaves, the tree along with its leaves with the tree, with the wind, it is a sweet one. Thus, tree is not untouchable to the wind, not untouchable to the cool breeze, and the tree with its leaves enjoys it enjoys the sweetness of that, sweet touch of that cool breeze. Yes, not untouchable. To the cool breeze. Tree is not untouchable. Tree along with its leaves, it is not untouchable. It is not untouchable to the cool breeze. Yes, raindrops wouldn't turn back, taking me for a dog eater. Dog eater means a low-born person in the society, they consider untouchable, low-born, untouchable. Yes, raindrops. When it rains, rain showers on the tree. Rain showers on the tree. Rain doesn't move away from this tree. Therefore, rain doesn't consider this tree an untouchable, a dog eater. Yes, it is acceptable to that also. Fourth one, not untouchable. Not untouchable. to the right. Yes, not untouchable to the right. When I branch out further from my roots, Mother Earth wouldn't flee shouting for a bath. Flee means run away. Flee means run away. Flee means run away. See what happens here. When I branch out further, yes, a sapling is growing there. It is growing into a tree. When the tree is growing there, the roots branch out in the earth itself. The branches of the roots, they grow deeper and deeper into the earth. Here that Mother Earth does two things to this growing tree. Mother Earth doesn't consider the tree an untouchable. Mother Earth gives support to the growing tree, first of all. Secondly, gives all nourishments needed to the growing tree. Yes, the roots suck all the ingredients necessary for the growth of the tree. So, the growing tree is not untouchable to the Mother Earth. Mother Earth does not run away to take a bath to purify herself. Thus, Mother Earth touches this tree and supports the tree to grow in a healthy way. Gives support, fixes seed to the earth. Gives every kind of ingredient necessary for the growth of the tree. Thus, tree is not untouchable. To the growing tree. Tree is not untouchable to the Mother Earth. Mother Earth. See, these are the nature's forces. Let us see. They do not consider the tree an untouchable. First of all, the birds while building nest do not consider the tree an untouchable. Secondly, the sun that shines over the tree, he doesn't consider the tree an untouchable. Even the shadow of that tree is not a polluted one. The people come and stand under it. When the cool breeze blows through the leaves of the tree, the wind doesn't consider trees untouchable. Then rain showers on this tree, rain doesn't consider the tree an untouchable. Mother Earth supports the tree to grow and supplies all the ingredients necessary for its growth. Mother Earth does not consider the tree an untouchable. Thus, the things in nature, the different nature's forces, they treat this tree not as untouchable, but as a touchable thing, a dear one. When such a reaction is there in the nature's forces towards the tree, why do you people keep the untouchable away? That is the question here. Next is the sacred cow. Another thing is there, of course. Would scrape her body on my bark, scratching wherever it itched, and the 300,000 gods sheltering inside her would touch me. See the satire here. Sacred cow. Cow is a sacred animal to Hindus in India. They worship the cow. Would scrape her body on my bark, scratching wherever it itched. Itched means irritated. Wherever there is a pricking sensation, irritating sensation, the cow comes and rubs her body to the tree. So tree is not untouchable to the cow. It gets relief when it scrubs her body. She scrubs her body to the bark of the tree, the outer covering of the tree. Then what happens? And 300,000 gods sheltering inside her would touch me. See, it's a belief among the Hindus that 300,000 gods live in the body of that cow. See, when the cow scrapes her body to the bark of the tree, these gods touch the tree. It is a satire on the practice of these upper class people. Upper class people do not allow an untouchable to enter the places of worship, temples, to offer his prayers to same Almighty. You people say God is one. You people say God blesses all. But you people keep untouchables away from the temples, the places of worship. You don't allow we people to worship in the temples. But here, without any effort of that tree, gods come and touch the tree. Untouchable is need not go to touch the gods. Gods will come and touch the tree. Gods will come and touch the untouchable. Suppose you are born as a tree. Thus, the speaker criticizes the bad practices of the upper class people who do not allow the untouchables to enter the places of worship. Two things are here. One is a cow doesn't consider tree an untouchable. Gods come and touch that tree, touch that untouchable when the cow scrapes her body. Yes, 300,000 gods. Touch the tree. Whenever the cow, whenever a cow whenever the sacred cow rubs her body to find relief, Thus, tree is not untouchable to the cow, tree is not untouchable to the 300,000 gods. They touch this tree. The criticism is, the satire is, you people do not allow us to temples. And here, without my effort, suppose I was born as a tree, I touch the gods. Gods touch me. Yes. Who knows at the end, hacked into pieces of dry wood, burning in the holy fire, I might be made pure, or becoming the buyer for a sinless body, be borne on the shoulders of 4 good men. Who knows at the end? Finally, what happens to the growing tree? Growing tree also has a lifespan. Growing tree also meets death. See, when the tree, in the end, hacked into pieces, cut into pieces. Hack means a cut into pieces. Those pieces of dry wood, they will be used by the upper class people. They will put the pieces of wood into the fire while conducting a religious ceremony, Homa Agni. Yes, when the fire is burning there, because of the pieces of wood, the wood will become pure. Wood will become pure. That means I will be purified. I will be purified when I am burnt in the fire in the religious ceremony. But the satire is not that. You people, upper class people, do not allow the untouchables to enter your houses. You just keep us away. But here you people just cut the pieces of me, dry wood, and take them into your houses, burn the pieces of dry wood in the holy fire. I will be made pure. Thus he criticizes the practice of the upper class people, keeping away the untouchable. Yes, that is there. Yes, secondly, The dry pieces of wood, when burnt in the holy fire, will be made pure, will become pure. Yes, the dry pieces of wood, when burnt in the holy fire, will become pure. Then another thing, or, yes, I am allowed into your house as one thing, you touch me then, you burn me in the holy fire, I will be made pure. Second thing, becoming the buyer for a sinless body. Everybody dies. Death is inevitable. When a holy man dies in your houses, once again you need me. You just cut my branches and you prepare a bier. What is bier? A frame of wood to carry the dead body for final ceremony, for burial service or cremation. Yes, you prepare a bier to carry the dead body. Bier means a frame of wood to carry the dead body. Be borne on the shoulders of four good men. Yes, that bier is carried on the shoulders of four good men. 4 persons are necessary to carry the dead body on a bier. You touch me then. That means when I am alive, when I am an untouchable, you do not touch me. But suppose I am a tree, suppose I was born as a tree. If I were a tree, you use my branches to prepare the bier to carry the dead body. 4 good people carry 8 on their shoulders. So, this is once again a satire. You touch me at the time. But you do not touch an untouchable in the human form, though he is as good as many of you people in the society. That is how he criticizes us. Yes, thirdly, a bier is made of me to carry the dead soul, the dead person. 4 persons good persons touch me while carrying the bier. See, that is how the untouchable here speaks, expresses his sorrow for the evil treatment meted out to him in the human society. He is kept away from the main society. He is treated as untouchable, not touchable. So I summarize the poem for your benefit, dear students. The poet Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy, he expresses in the poem the insults that are suffered by an untouchable in the society. He feels that the life of a tree is preferable to the life of an untouchable in the tree. It is more honorable, life of a tree is more honorable than the life of an untouchable in the society. He says, a bird would not ask the tree, while before building its nest, tree is not untouchable to the bird. Sun shines over the tree, the shadow will not be polluted. Sunshine is not untouchable to. See, sunshine does not consider the tree an untouchable. Shadow of the tree is not untouchable to upper class people who come and stand under it. Thirdly, when cool breeze blows through the leaves of the tree, there is a happy friendship between the breeze and the tree. Here the cool breeze doesn't consider the tree an untouchable. When rain showers on the tree, there is a happy meeting between the two. The rain does not consider the tree an untouchable. Then, when I branch out, when the roots of the tree go deeper and deeper in branches to fix the tree into the soil and to get the nourishment from the Mother Earth, Mother Earth would not go away to take a bath to purify herself. So Mother Earth doesn't consider the tree an untouchable. Thus the nature's forces do not consider the tree an untouchable. But you people, upper class people, considers me an untouchable. This is wrong. Next thing, the cow is a sacred animal to Hindus. The cow is worshipped by Hindus. When the cow gets some irritating feeling on the body, it goes and rubs her body to the tree. Cow doesn't consider the tree an untouchable. At the same time, 300,000 gods in the body of the cow, a belief among the Hindus, touch the untouchable, touch the tree. Thus, you people do not allow the untouchables to enter the places of worship, the temples. But here the gods come and touch me, suppose I was born as a tree. Thus he says. Finally, my branches would be cut into pieces, dry branches would be cut into pieces. Those dry pieces of wood would burn in the holy fire and it will become pure. The satire is, you people do not allow the untouchables to enter your houses. Suppose I was a tree, automatically I get the permission to enter your houses to burn in the holy fire, only to be made pure. Satire. Then a person, holy man, dies in your family. Once again, you use my branches to prepare the bier to carry the dead. 4 good men carry me on their shoulders. That means I won't be untouchable to the dead body. I won't be untouchable to these 4 good men to carry. Suppose I was a tree. Thus he criticizes the bad practices in the society. And he once again he says that the untouchable is as good as many people of upper caste people, many people of upper caste. Thus, the speaker expresses his sorrow for treating him as an untouchable in the society. Suppose he was born as a tree, he could enjoy the nearness of the nature's forces and all these people, of course. That is all about this poem. Thank you.